Hello, my name is Richard Boyd and welcome to our very first edition of our very first release of the Fitness Panel Lab. The Fitness Panel itself serves two purposes. One is anyone that has a brand new idea or concept or even a finished product that's trying to get it into the fitness industry can come and present to our panel live. And the panel has experts ranging from the engineering side to the health clubs to distribution, global education and training, and we look and review these products and help these people assimilate those into the industry, especially if they're a great product. What we do on the second phase is we do product reviews, and the lab is going to be used basically for that purpose. So every time we have a new product to look at, or if it's in this case the Freeform Board, which I'm going to talk about today, which is in its relaunch phase, this is where you can get to find out information on how to use it, a little bit about the people behind it, and we'll show you a very small series of workouts and then follow that on with a lot of videos showing you how to use the product. And then when we get to the Fitness Panel website, you can actually then go on and actually rate these different products as you use them. And we allow people coming into the industry, or even people from the commercial, even the consumer side, to have a look and see what people think and how the products you use and what's good and what's bad about each and every product. So it's going to range from everything from, you know, TRX, Viper, the sand bells and the steel bells from companies like Hyperwear. It's going to be very broad. So one thing just that you have to just keep in mind, I'm at 6,000 feet, so if I do a couple of exercises and I sort of sound like I'm about to collapse, I'm going to blame the altitude, not my fitness. So the very first product that we're going to talk about today, the first product review, is what's called the Freeform Board. Now the Freeform Board was invented by a guy called Tony Jara, who actually is from my native country of Australia. And Tony's based in Sydney, and he invented this product about 4 or 5 years ago. And you know, getting a product from his idea, especially one as complex as this, with as many moving parts as this, and especially as smooth as this, it's a very, very long process. So Tony hasn't really penetrated the market much yet, and this is really his sort of relaunch phase now too. And I can tell you in sort of the part 2 or part 3 of the series, you know, what he's doing in that relaunch phase that's kind of making this different. This actual Freeform Board here itself is actually almost 3.5 years old. We use this right through from creating, when we're working on 2 of our last companies, the whole phase of all different people working out on it, and I've used it myself personally for probably 1 or 2 years, and my kids have beat this thing up a lot, and as you'll see, it's as smooth as silk, there's no sound. It really is a fantastic product. So, a couple of things to talk about. The reason why Tony created this was Tony was a yoga instructor. Probably one of the most flexible, probably one of the strongest people I've ever met. If you ever see Tony move, and you will see Tony move on some of their videos, he makes it look easy. So it's not that easy. He's just incredibly strong and very, very flexible. But his concept behind creating this really came from yoga, where there's a motion where men have their hands on the floor and they have to bring their legs through. And a lot of the men weren't able to do that, so Tony enabled them to be able to use their feet on this to be able to, and their knees to be able to move through the actual movement. So kind of a clever creation, and then from there it just kind of expanded into the fitness and performance world too. So hopefully most of you, I'm probably guessing most of you haven't seen this, so this will be a bit of a good review from you, and we'll add some interviews in, and as I said, show you a bunch of videos telling you a little bit more about it. Okay, one of the greatest things about this product is that it's got a couple of different modes, and it has a locking system on the bottom of it. So it allows me to lock it, and it allows me to unlock it. And what we mean by that is, you can see this is what it's called, it's sort of free and spinning mode. I can basically, as easily as just doing that, lift it up, and then it locks itself in, so there's no more movement. And what's nice about that is when you put it on the floor, means that you can do movements where you don't want that rotation and you don't want the base to move. So if it's doing sort of side jumps, any kind of lunge movements with step ups, anything like that, that base is solid. And then when you want to get it into mode to allow it to turn even while it's on the ground, you can then do that, and it's a simple process that I've been able to do things like whether it's sprint drills, Zumba dancing, anything sort of in that rotational mode, but again, it's still fixed to the floor in terms of its base. Here's where it gets really clever, and here's where design and engineering sort of, become a pretty important piece of this combination, is that this base comes off, and it's actually that simple. And then here's really why Tony created this, is that now you've got freedom of movement. It moves in every direction, and it really is unlimited in that range of motion. And it's really directed by the individual using it. Really clever concept, and it's even, you know, for getting into movements onto the floor, onto the feet, side-to-side movements. It really is a clever concept, and you'll see basically it just really does move freely. The beauty of this is, on hard floors, it's as smooth as silk. On the carpet, what you'll find is it still works. You'll find that you'll just get little bits of carpet hair within the wheels, but the wheels still roll, and every now and then you just have to clean those out, which is pretty minor. The beautiful thing about this tool too, I mean, which I love about it, is that this red top section actually peels off. And if anyone has used the Freeform boards for a long period of time, you'll find sometimes where the wheel mounts are, that they become a little bit loose. So you just simply pull this off, and you can tighten those wheel mounts, and then it's ready to go. So in terms of maintenance, it's a pretty basic unit.